company?
Okay, it's Crossover Entertainment Group, and we're based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and we're a pre-tour, pre-recording, rehearsal facility, and we also rent production.
Okay.
Primarily, in the production realm, primarily backline. We have two rooms that support that full production rehearsal, whether it's a video, a proper tour going out.
Right.
And then we have a few smaller rooms that could, for smaller things.
Okay. And now on the ship, you guys are doing backline. Are you guys doing the hands too?
No, I'm just the backline.
Straight backline?
Company, yeah. The labor company here on the boat is called Backbone.
Backbone. So there's 6 men who's the overall production. There's you guys as backline. There's Atlanta Sound and Lighting as the sound company.
Yeah, sound, light, and audio.
And then Backbone is the hands.
Yes,
so how many people do you have on the ship?
I'm one of 4 for backline.
One of 4 for backline for 6 stages.
Yeah, for 6 stages. And then I think the labor company had a dozen people.
Right.
And I couldn't get a count on how many audio cats on.
I asked today 11.
Yeah, I was gonna guess something like that.
Yeah, which is nothing. When you think about it, that means the total production between hands, backline, and audio is 27.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's not enough.
Yeah, or one would think it's I mean, it gets done, and I think everybody's not extreme, nobody's overworked to death.
Right.
But yeah, it gets done, and the thing that I think is great about those companies, everybody's from Atlanta, and we've all worked together in some way, shape, or form, so we all know each other and have camaraderie and respect for each other.
Right.
So I think that really helps the blending of everything come together.
Everybody seems to work together really well. I've been very impressed with the crew, just across the board. There's been I haven't seen any prima donna shit.
Yeah, right.
In fact, it's been really interesting. The shows that Atlanta Sound and Lighting has been mixing have been sounding better than the ones with the guest engineers, the guys who bring their own engineers.
Yeah,
By a lot.
Yeah, I'll agree to that too. And one could debate, well, why is that? But
there's a million different reasons.
Sure.
I mean, they've been here, they know what they're doing and everything. But it's also an attitude thing. We need to make this work.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I think that's one of the greatest things. And then additionally, there's another fine person who is part of that team who should be recognized as well. Her name is Carrie Glennon.
Okay.
And what her role on the boat was making sure that all the artists' personal equipment, guitars, pedal boards, and etc., is managed properly to and from the stages. And here on the boat, she's had 3 or 4 labor hands to help expedite those movements. And so that's a big challenge too.
Oh, yeah.
Because with the jams, everybody wants their stuff last minute. So she's certainly another element of the big picture.
Yeah, so there's another person who's been up 24 hours a day for them.
Yeah. She works very hard, and she is a production manager, a production coordinator through her life, and based out of Atlanta as well, and worked with all of us.
Now, did you do the Leonard Skinner one too?
I did.
And are you going out on the
I am not, because it's a scaled down, and as I understand, it's primarily Guster and Bare Naked Ladies.
and their side thing.
They came in with all their own production, band gear, etc.
Yeah, the Atlanta State and Sound and Lighting guy told me that they're just racks and stacks.
Yeah, I think that the only thing that, like I'll be leaving the boat, that Carrie Glennon will be leaving the boat, but I believe ASL in its entirety, and the hands, the labor crew
are staying, I think so, yeah. Jesus. Now, so you run the rehearsal studio and everything out of Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
And how long have you guys been around?
92.
Since 92?
Yeah, 92, 93.
Okay.
Yeah. And you might, there's a company called SIR.
I know SIR, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're not in Atlanta. We are.
Really?
That's pretty much the template idea, or give you the closest vision as to what we do.
Because SIR's, I mean, they're the biggest ones in New York, they're the biggest ones in LA, the biggest ones in Vegas, by a lot.
Yeah, they're around. I mean, and the other thing, we also have a recording studio at our facility as well.
Right.
So that's another aspect of the building. There's a lot can happen right in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything I need to know about what you guys are doing that I maybe don't know, or anything for the audience?
No, I mean, we kind of covered. I mean, and you know what?
Yeah.
the subtleties of what we do, but you know, we've been able to nail all these bands' riders specifically and keep them all happy.
How many bands are on the boat?
I want to say like 24 to 27, I forget my list, but something like that. And you know, they're all national bands, so they all have national need. You know,
Right.
You know, it's like you just throw any old amp up there. So combined with all that, and just being able to communicate clearly and professionally with these professional artists and their production managers, you know, it's a skill, and you know, I mean, I've been doing this for years.
That's a hard job, man.
Yeah,
It's
it
hard.
can be tough, you know, because I mean, I guess you know, if some stuff breaks down, or that, you know, that one front man of the band who's, you know, it's a comfort thing.
Oh,
If
yeah.
he doesn't have his amp, you know, it's just, even if the other amp sounds good, it's equivalent.
Not his.
It's a comfort thing, you know. It's a brain, you know. So a lot of that, and you know, but there's been no problems on this boat. Everybody's been cool as can be, and
Is this your? Have you done this boat before?
I have.
How many years?
Last year I was on this boat as a stage manager, and there wasn't as many bands, and it wasn't quite as intense. And they used a music store to take care of the back line, and without going into it, it wasn't as effective.
Right.
You
No,
know.
they're at the point now they need a backline.
Yeah, you know, and my guys are all touring backline professionals. One guy, Vic, tours with Indy RE. Another, Clay, has been with Shelby Lynn. Josh Joplin, Sean Mullins, you name it, etc.
Right.
And Danny Aiken, he's been out with a handful of metal bands.
Right.
So we all, you know, are hip to the drama. You know, and you know the things that
Yeah,
things come and go,
absolutely.
and how to massage and manage, you know, last minute requests. And
So I hear they're going up to maybe 5 or 6 boats next year.
that's the rumor. They're either added in to consult, you know, or they'll do